Chris, give you the latest on Big Brother 18, episodes 29 through 31. We have a lot to talk about today. Yep. Paul and Victor getting nominated. Paulie's finally gone. We had a crazy eviction where James was pretty much the ring vote as to who was leaving. Well, not tiebreaker, but like very important decision he had to make. Mm-hmm. And went to go and bite him in the ass later.
Well, I guess we'll see, right?
We'll see, yeah.
All right, so as you guys know, Paulie went home last Thursday, so we're going into this HOH competition, and they show a little bit of it on Friday. It's like the black box thing. So the 6 house guests go in. Michelle gets an advantage on Friday's episode. We're not going to talk about Fridays because
we don't care.
Yeah, no, that was a dumb episode.
Jesse and the circus thing, whatever.
Need and Victor won 500.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
And Michelle got a 30-second advantage. So they have to collect these rings and like this goop or whatever. I actually think it's a pretty cool comp.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was so like interesting. And they're like, Paul loses his shoe. Yeah. And like, but anyway, we'll just get to the results. So Corey was able to do really well in this because he had like his long arms. And I think Natalie was able to too because she was like really small. Was probably able to.
I didn't even, like when they were showing the episode, I didn't even realize Natalie got that many.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like she was getting any at all.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. The editing was a little weird. Yeah. It is what it is. So at the end, it ended up being
Natalie and Corey for a tie, and then Natalie got it before Corey did within like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really, really impressive, I must say. Yeah. So Natalie wins HOH, and obviously that 5-person alliance that was formed last week, they're pretty excited, and I mean, you can blame them.
Right.
So Paul and Victor are really excited. Natalie and James are obviously excited. Michelle's excited. Final 5 deal's intact. However, Natalie and James talked to Nicole before the HOH competition. They said, listen, like maybe we should do a Final 4 thing here. Yeah. And that seemed like that was the case, and they said that they had a conversation with Paulie before he was evicted with Paul, and they said that they were going after James, and they believed it. Because the conversation did happen. But I don't think no one except Paulie was down for that.
Right, exactly. Like Paulie's just gonna say whatever you want.
Like Nicole and Corey were like afterwards. They were like, no, we're not doing that. And Paul was like, no, we're not doing that. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. So let's talk about the care package because we found out that Michelle actually wins the care package. And her care package is the fact that she's now Co HOH, so she gets to choose one of the nominees. Mm-hmm. And if one of those if one of her nominees comes off the block, she gets to name the replacement nominee.
So she gets she gets to do half the nominations for the week. So Natalie, she wants Nicole out. So that's her first thing. She wants Nicole out. However, Natalie talks her into getting Paul out. So I guess the 5-person alliance is kind of donezo at this point, and Paul and Victor are kind of expecting that they're going to get boned because they are. Right. So we won't bore you too much with the details, but Nicole and Corey are sitting pretty this week because they want to get out Paul.
Right. Because Paul is playing a masterful game. He's, according to Michelle, he's an atheist.
Apparently he's an atheist. I don't
understand what that has to do with anything.
I know. I mean, I'm an atheist. I don't think that really affects anything. Apparently, I can't swear to God, even though it's an expression. Yeah, but fuck you, Michelle. Whatever.
Yeah. So, so Natalie nominates Victor, and Michelle nominates Paul, and Michelle even said that she wanted to take Victor off the block if she wins the veto. Yeah. So. What is that? I don't understand that either because she's not renaming the replacement nominee.
Why are you putting Victor on the block anyway? Right, exactly. I don't understand. It's pretty dumb.
So that was pretty much episode 29, and then episode 30 was the veto competition, and Paul's freaking the fuck out because Paul's pissed off that Natalie and Michelle backstabbed him, and it's pretty much saying that he's a target.
So Paul confronts both Natalie and Michelle. He's like, okay, what have I lied about? And he's like, tell me things that I've lied about. And Michelle's like, well, you lied about knowing that Day was going. And Paul, continuing his lie, because he didn't know, said that, no, I did not want Day gone, which is the truth. Yeah. He did want Bridget gone that week. He says, no, I wanted Bridget gone that week. And you can even ask James, that's who I wanted gone. And James is like, well, he's not technically lying there. Yeah. So, and he's like, what else did I lie about? And then they're like, they don't have anything. Yeah. Like, they have nothing. Like, they can't think of anything. Like, honestly, he goes up to the HOH room. He convinces Natalie for a little while that about what happened. He's like, okay, listen, Natalie, let's do this. But then after a little, and then they start off. They kind of convince them, listen, we're gonna get that one Nicole or Corey out this week.
Yeah.
And I think the only one that was convinced by that was Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
According to the diary room sessions anyway. So then we have this thing go on about the veto comp, which is the Superstorms.
Yeah, I like that one.
Do you remember seeing that on the feeds?
Yep.
Yeah, so, and Paul was like crazy studying. So, yeah, he was like in the HOH room the whole night, like kind of like quizzing Natalie, and she was just like sleeping some of the time. It's really funny. So
that seemed like a really fun comp. Like that, I read it off the teleprompter. And
yeah,
got like the questions right.
I thought it was great.
And Natalie didn't really do that well.
No, stop! Yeah, I thought everyone was really funny with it.
So let's talk about the results of the veto competition.
Yeah, let's do
So
that.
Michelle, Victor, and Paul were pretty much close together.
Yeah, that's right. So Paul got 21 out of 21 right. Beasted. Michelle got 20 out of 21.
Yeah.
And Victor got 19 out of 21. And everyone else kind of did meh.
Yeah.
Like Natalie got like 10. I think James threw it, he said, because he didn't want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Smart move, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it puts him in an awkward position, although he was already in an awkward position. So, and then Corey didn't really study at all. So, although he did better than I expected him to. I think he got like 15.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
So we find out that Paul takes himself off the block. Michelle names Corey as a replacement nominee and hopes that Corey might leave because Michelle doesn't want Victor to leave. Michelle would rather have Corey leave than Victor.
Yeah, and Michelle wanted Nicole on the block actually, but she felt pressured by the house, and for some reason she felt only pressured by Paul specifically, which I don't really understand because everyone kind of wanted Corey up instead of Nicole.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Corey goes up, and at this point, we're not really sure what's going to happen. Although James seems like he's going to vote Paul out, but he's a swing vote, so we don't really know what the actual case is going to be. Mm-hmm. But I guess we'll find out when we go to
episode 31. Yeah, the live eviction and the buyback.
And the buyback. It was very exciting.
Yeah, I was excited about that. So pretty much before the eviction, this really comes down to James and what he thinks is the best decision. So he compares Corey and Victor, and he realizes that maybe keeping Corey in the house would be better because they did have that 4-person alliance, and Victor's a lot better in competitions than Corey is. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because do you think Corey's actually throwing comps?
No.
No?
I don't think
you don't think so?
Corey's not throwing comps. Corey has never said that he was throwing comps to Nicole. Nicole said that she's been throwing comps.
No.
So Nicole...
That I believe.
I believe that a little more, although they don't show that in diary rooms, so I'm not sure I believe it. Like, the only person they show in diary rooms that's actively throwing competitions is James.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would win the ones that he's throwing anyway. Like, a lot of them, because a lot of them are, like, mental comps. Mm-hmm. But he is throwing them. So he's trying to play like that kind of game this season. I think James is playing a really good game. Mm-hmm. Although people are kind of catching on now.
Yeah.
So. But it is fine. It is going to be final 6. I think he's safe this week unless Michelle gets off the block. Yeah. We'll get into that later. I'm jumping ahead.
So do we just go right into the eviction?
Let's talk about the jury thing that they showed.
Oh, the jury segment with Paulie. Oh my God, that was great.
But before that, the fake fight between Paul and Victor, because I really love this.
Right, yeah.
So, Paul and Victor, the day before eviction, the night before, they decide, listen, Paul's like, I'm going to cozy up to Nicole and Corey so that they get paranoid and vote Corey out.
Yeah.
And then Victor's like, yeah, I'll pretend to be mad at you, and like, this actually works.
Yeah.
The plan works, although they still evict Victor. We'll get into that. Mm-hmm. But everyone, Michelle, Natalie, and James all believe that Victor wants to go after Paul.
Mostly Michelle and Natalie.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to them, but like, I don't know why you would ever think that. But I guess Paulie was Victor's ride or die at one point too. So maybe it's not so far fetched.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was really funny, like the way they did it. What do you think?
No, I think that was a great move.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that they had. That was the only option that they really had, honestly. Like, they have to convince them that Corey is working with Paul, so that way they would get rid of Corey. So then they would think, like, okay, now we have to get rid of Nicole and Paul next. And Victor's on their side. So it makes sense why Paul would try to manipulate and make it seem like he was more part of Nicole and Corey than Victor.
Yeah,
honestly. It was very smart. That was a very smart move.
Honestly, if the plan worked and Victor stayed, he would have gone down in history as one of the best players, honestly.
Yeah.
Although, they still believed him.
Yeah.
They just thought that Victor was the bigger threat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the main point of the plan didn't work, but part of it did.
Yeah.
So he's still a good player, but
right.
you know, he's not one of the greats. At least not yet. We'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah.
So let's go to the jury segment. I'll let you talk about the jury because this was really fun.
The jury segment was actually really funny. So Day, Zakiya, and Bridget were all hoping that Paulie would go get evicted and walk into the jury house. And guess who's in there? Paulie.
Woo!
And they just fucking roast him.
Oh, yeah,
so
baby.
badly. Bridget's like, I have no respect for you whatsoever. Devon's like, from a player to a player, you got out, and stop being bitter about it.
I'm not bitter at all.
And Zakiya was calling him a bitch. It was, oh god, it was so good.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why Paulie was kind of being like defensive. Like, he's out of the game.
Yeah, I know, but
He's still acting really cocky about it, and I don't really know why he was doing that.
I don't know. I mean, they were being offensive, and he was being. I understood that he felt that he had to defend himself, although honestly,
Yeah.
I think he should have just sat there and took it.
Yeah.
Like, he
been
should've
like,
just-
listen, it's a game. Sorry, guys, I made a wrong move, and just
Listen, I'm sorry for what I said in the house, but it's a game. I apologize.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, that's it. Although he did say that though, but then I think they riled him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe they played it up a little bit for TV too. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, and
That's a possibility. Also, apparently Zakiya didn't talk to Paulie
for like a whole week.
for 4 days, but I think they're on good terms again.
Yeah.
Because like in the jury buyback video, he had his hand around her
Yeah.
on Twitter. I'm sure you saw that.
And like Paulie was saying something with Bridget, that you have no respect for gods, whatever, blah blah blah, and Bridget's like, that's not true at all. That's not true.
I know. She's like, yeah, I just don't care. I care.
And she's like a feminist and stuff like that. That's what she was saying.
Yeah, probably second wave, not third
Yeah.
wave for you crazy ones out there. But Bridget was like, no, I do respect men, just not Paulie. I thought that was, it's kind of funny. So then we get to, they get a little ding dong.
Hey guys! It looks like they got like a fruit basket.
Yeah, they got like a basket with like some food in it. And it's like, hey, guess who gets a chance back in the game? You guys! And they're like, yes, swag. Dave's like, everyone's like, oh, I hope Victor's not back. And Paulie's like, listen, I want Victor to be back because to beat the best, to be the best, you have to beat the best. I actually respected that when he said that. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, eviction happens. Nicole votes out Victor, not surprised. Paul votes out Corey, and James decides to vote out Victor.
That's right. So Victor will be the fifth player competing in the buyback competition. I guess the second battle back. I don't know what you're calling it anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess the second battle back, buyback, whatever. They find out. Paulie's like, oh.
Yeah.
He sees him like. Because honestly, Paulie was a shield. For,
I like how Julia's like, what if I told you you have a second chance of getting back in the game?
Victor's like, just put me back in already, because I'm gonna win it.
Yeah.
Well, spot the lie though, right?
Right.
He totally did.
So the whole house, all the jury members come into the house. They're all excited. According to the live feeds, Bridget didn't even talk to Nicole at all.
I mean, like, Bridget doesn't like Nicole.
Yeah.
Ever since the Frank Bridget thing with them kind of like broke apart, like she just doesn't like Nicole.
So the veto competition. So the HOH competition / buyback is the wall.
Yeah, it's the wall comp. So.
And the last time we've had a wall buyback competition was, I think, BB15 with the tennis balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone got pushed this season.
Well, we'll see. Well, I mean, like we had a physical one last season, but that was everyone.
That was
off.
That was Well, that was one that Victor won.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
No, I was talking about whatever.
Oh, okay, whatever. So moving on to that, no one gets out. during the whole entire episode. So let's just move on to live feed spoilers and updates.
Yeah, so the first people to get out were, and you guys probably, a lot of you probably saw our live feed update video.
Yeah.
And we'll link it down below.
Yep.
This has a more detailed version of everything, about everything we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
So, live feed updates. So the first people to fall off are Day and Zakiya.
Holding hands together.
Yeah,
And just jumping
I thought it was so fucking bizarre that they did that. I don't know. Next player to fall off is Corey. Big body, big build.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes complete sense.
That reminded me of like what Austin from last season, because Austin was so
exactly.
tall and he just couldn't do it.
Although Victor has more of the similar build than Austin does, but I don't know. Apparently Victor weighs less than Corey. Would you believe that?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. The next player, I think he weighs 180 and Corey weighs 210. I think they said that on the feeds after the competition. So the next, or maybe it was the other way around, I don't know. But the next player to fall off is Bridget. Honestly, her knee and ankle are probably still messed up.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that she fell, but I'm glad she lasted as long as she did.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if those things were fixed up
Yeah.
completely, I think she would have done really well.
Yeah.
Really, really well. Player falls off afterwards, Paulie. Everyone's happy. Yeah, boy! Paulie's out of the game for good.
And Victor comes back into the house again. That's what we all wanted.
Yeah, so Victor falls off next.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Why was it smart? Because it shows that he's not as a physical competitor than everyone else.
Yeah, at least that.
It makes the rest of them bigger targets than Victor, which I think he knew that. I think he realized coming in, like, once he got evicted and he came back into the game, he's like, I have to make sure that I decrease the size of my target by making myself, like, portraying everyone else that he has a weaker competitive side.
Yeah, although I don't think he threw it, but jumping off, I think he probably could have stayed on a little longer.
Yeah,
but he probably thought he would have lost anyway, though.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, he would have.
That's true, yeah.
So,
and, like, once he got back in, he didn't really... I mean, maybe he did need to win it, but he
Yeah.
found it later, he doesn't.
So the next three, everyone on the jury side is out. So Paul, Nicole, and James. They're on for a long fucking time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm watching the feeds. They're on each for over an hour and a half. I think it was like an hour and 40 minutes.
I was surprised how well Paul did for someone that's that tall.
Yeah, I know. Paul was the next person to fall, though.
Yeah.
Leaving James and Nicole, and James...
James tries to make a deal with Nicole.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because James is not someone to make deals with. We know he broke deals twice.
Yeah, so they make deals.
Mm-hmm.
James ends up throwing it to Nicole. We think. I don't think he actually did throw it.
I don't think so.
I think he was actually legitimate.
Because I remember he was saying, like, I have to win this competition. I have to win this competition.
He was shaking, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
And he was on slops. That's why I thought that, honestly, he just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Nicole wins HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
Well, some of us are worried.
Some of us are worried, but I wasn't as worried. A lot of people were saying Paul was going to go up. I was like, well, I don't think he is, because he got closer to them. Although, spoiler, he does get out on the block. So what happens is Natalie, James, and Michelle all think that Paul's the target. Mm-hmm. So we'll just tell you who the nominees are.
Right.
It's Michelle and Paul. Michelle's the target, the actual target. And what we have is a new Final Four deal between Nicole and Paul and Victor, and their name is the Final Four.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Just like the new Final Four, woo! Let's see how far they get.
I mean, they can make it far.
Yeah.
I actually surprisingly, I like that Final Four.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, yeah.
I feel like I hated on Nicole for so long.
I hated them, yeah.
All the hate's just kind of like dissipated.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. I hope Nicole or James leave soon.
Yeah,
I would like that very much, just because I don't want a
attorney winning.
Yeah.
I think
it'll happen though.
I just don't want. I want James gone.
Yeah.
And because out of the two of them, James has the best shot of winning.
You're right. Not a lot of people like Nicole in the jury.
Nope.
Mostly
Not at all.
So, how do we feel about this 4-person alliance? Is it gonna last?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
So
once they get Michelle out, Natalie and James have to win the next HOH.
Yeah.
If not, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it'll be 3v2.
If Michelle wins veto, James will probably leave.
We think. we're not gonna have like big physical comps anymore.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more mental, and that's not something they strive like they do well in.
Yeah.
Those two, like, no offense to
Yeah,
them,
James and
but
Natalie can't win mental comps.
they're more physical threats.
Yeah.
As we've proven.
So I guess that was a smart idea.
Yeah, I think it's a smart idea because Paul and Victor would be the ones to win.
Yeah, Victor wins. Yeah, perfect for Nicole and Corey because every scenario you think of, like Victor wins the veto, takes Paul off. No matter what, James and Natalie have to go up, and they can't make any excuses.
Mm-hmm. Also, they want to get Michelle out because she's like, out of the three of them,
and no one else is going to use the veto to save Michelle. We know that for a fact because their other person will go up.
Yeah, I know their other person would go up. I think Nicole should make that very clear. Listen, I want the nominees to stay the same.
Let's talk about Corey. Corey won the care package. That was surprising, and he got the bribe. So he has like a $5,000 little card thing.
It was bullshit that he won.
No,
Fuck you.
I don't know, but I thought it made sense. Like, I was a little confused at first of how he won it, and then people were saying that it was a tie between Paul and Victor. And for Corey to get this, it's not to be honest, it's not the worst idea.
I know
because if Paul and Victor got like the care package, it would have been like Corey would have been like, well, I guess I'm not that popular or whatever, blah blah blah. And his perspective on it, I'd rather it be Corey.
It doesn't even matter, like, honestly, like, in my opinion, it doesn't even matter
because it makes Paul and Victor look like they're hated. If that makes any sense, right?
Even though they're first and third on Jokers, this is really funny.
Exactly.
I think Victor's gonna win America's
An optimistic point of view. It makes sense.
Victor's gonna win ACP. I mean AFP. Well,
America's Fair Player. Yeah.
He didn't win ACP.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
So, who knows what Corey's gonna use the bribe for? He has a whole week to decide what he was gonna do for it.
Yeah. The veto. They're actually doing the veto right now. I just checked. They don't have the results yet.
Yeah.
So they might have it by the end of the video. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't even think they started playing yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything else we have to cover? Is there anything that we missed? Oh, Natalie almost started a fire.
Yeah, that was oh my god, that was so stupid. And she made like such a big deal about it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if any of you guys cook, but sometimes you get like you're pouring something in and you accidentally gets like into the flame. Like, I mean, it's happened to me before. It doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. Like it takes like a second to clear it out.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Like, no one else cared. No one cared.
Yeah. Pissed.
Never cared about the fire. Never cared.
So I guess that covers up the episodes. Guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. We post videos every week.
Yeah.
We try to get these live feed updates videos as fast as possible. We really appreciate your feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Very, very funny.
Yeah, positive.
We like it.
Positive or negative. We just like...
Tell us what maybe we can improve on, something that you guys would want to see, anything like that. Let us know in the comments below. Anything you want to add, Paul?
We're really close to 100 subscribers, so please subscribe.
Yes, we hope to get to that 100 mark point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty quick that we got there. All right, so this has been Reality Room Podcast with Paul and Chris. Until next time, peace.
See you guys next week.